I'd like to talk very briefly with you guys about the cost of homelessness. Now, my opinions have changed. I don't even know about changed so much as they've grown. I have a much more complex idea of what homelessness is about than what I used to, and the reason is that I have I have met people, one person specifically, um, who is homeless, and it's not a simple thing. I don't know the answers to how to solve homelessness, um, but having gone through a big long experience with a homeless person trying to help her through her issues, um, both financial and mental and physical. I have I have I haven't really come to any conclusions, but I've come to an understanding that that homelessness isn't that simple. There are lots of stories as to why people are homeless, and nobody's exactly the same. In this case, the woman that I'm talking about is manic depressive, and she needs medication. She also needs to have therapy of some sort, and she's a bit obstinate. She's very obstinate about everything. She'll argue with you about anything. I can't give her any advice about anything. She doesn't want to hear it. She doesn't want to hear what I have to say. And my synopsis of her is that she's a feral human. I can't come up with a better term than that. She's a feral human. She's not house trained. I've tried to have her in my house, and to horrible consequences. She destroys things. She rips things apart. She gets it in her head that she needs to see what something looks like on the inside, and she'll just start ripping the thing apart. And it's like you realize that that's $400 that you just busted. Or I let her stay in my car, and she's like tearing the dashboard apart. Um, it's it's not house trained, for lack of a better term, and it's very tough. And so I've done many things to try to help this person, um, but I get bit in the butt for trying to help. And I if I were to plan a strategy, I'm not exactly sure how I'd plan a strategy, because I do think that she has the potential to be integrated into society and to live a happy, healthy life. But um, but the decisions that she makes, it's like if you have a good choice that benefits everybody, or you have a selfish choice that just benefits yourself. She chooses this third option, and that you would never think of as to what she's going to do. And I it's constant. She doesn't make the selfish choice. She doesn't make the better best choice for everybody. She doesn't really think about other people's feelings, or what's going on with them. Everything is always about her and what she wants and what she needs and what she has to do to get through something. Try to help her get her driver's license. She did get. I did give her a lesson in my car so that she can get her driver's license, and she did pretty well. Um, she did pretty well, but for a beginner, and and she got her driver's license. She passed her test, but being homeless, she lost her license, and now when I try to help her get her license so she can have ID, because trying to do anything in life without ID is tough. Try to get a job without a driver's license. It's most places won't hire you. I mean, even washing dishes, a lot of places won't hire you. Not that that's what she wants to do. Just saying that it's not simple. So, but when we talk about it, she talks about she like sets up all these rules and all these boundaries. So another consequence of being homeless is this. These are all bills from various hospitals and medical services, and they're all unique. She's been using my address for as her address whenever she gets injured or something, or goes to the hospital, or police arrest her or something, take her to the hospital. Um, these things just stack up. So, but they're all different. These are all different bills. Now, I haven't looked at them, but we can pretty much guarantee that every single one of these is at least $3,000 or $4,000. A lot of these have ambulances involved, and some of them are some are psychological. Many of them are, and I know this for a fact just because I've taken to the hospital. Many of them are multiple day stays, and these are just the bills that I've got from here. I'm not, I when she was in other states, because she's moved around, I don't know what those bills are. So just from what I've paid, I've probably over time have spent maybe $6,000 or $8,000 on her. I've given her a hotel room. I've given her phones. Again, trying to help her keep in contact with people so that she can build her life back up. I've certainly bought her meals. I bought her clothing. She's given lots of clothing. When you're homeless, the clothing takes a beating. It's you're sleeping on the street. You get stuff on them. They get ripped. So pretty much what you wear, it just gets destroyed like right away, and so you're always having to replenish your clothing. She's always got different clothing on. I don't think I don't ever see her on the same thing, and I don't see her very often anymore. But the question is, what's the cost? Those bills probably represent $30,000 worth of bills. I don't know. I'm not opening them. They're not mine. But I guarantee it's 30. That's 30 grand worth of medical bills that society, that the hospital has to cover, that society has to cover. That your insurance, my insurance, we're covering this. And when I hear people take the selfish stance of, well, I don't want to pay for somebody who just doesn't want to work. I have this real experience with this real person, and it isn't that she doesn't want to work. If you asked her if she wants to work, she does want to work. The problem is that she lacks the skills to hold a job at the moment. She needs to be reintroduced to society. She needs to relearn how to trust people and how to gain people's trust. She's been on the street for so long. Like I said, she's like this feral animal. She's very disjointed, very disconnected. She certainly has done some drugs. She probably does meth. It's my guess. I know that she has done meth, but she does it. That's probably the thing she does. That seems to be popular around here. But that's not, all of that is just compounds the problem. So how do we fix this? How do we get past this? The cost of homelessness are those medical bills. The cost of homelessness is all the clothing that people have donated to her. Someone gave her a bicycle at one point. There's so much that she has received as a homeless person that has been destroyed and demolished. And maybe in the next video I'll give you a longer story of how I met her. But it's not as simple as just, well, we can't support these people who are, who have mental issues, or we can't support people who don't want to have a job. She wants to have a job, and she's smart. She's intelligent. She's been to school. I understand she's only a few credits shy of getting a degree in what, I'm not sure. I think it's social services, actually, if I'm remembering right. But which should tell me something about what her life has been like. But she's got this long, horrible story. She dwells on the same problems over and over and over again. When I see her, she tends to want to rehash stories that happened years ago, either with me or other people that, her family members. She's always talking about her mom. She doesn't necessarily talk to her mom at all, but it's like she's got these stories that she rehashes. She's kind of living in her own head. And she needs therapy to get out of this. So I don't know what the solution is, my tendency is to say she needs to have a controlled environment where where someone is monitoring and helping her adjust to society, to being introduced in. And I think that she's on the spectrum. I'm not, I can't diagnose her, but there is something wrong with her. There's something off about her thought process. Um, and I don't think she's a sociopath. I think some people have thought that. Um, but I think that she needs a controlled environment. She needs to have strict rules for herself, and I think that the randomness of being homeless has damaged her a lot. And I think that it's tough on her. I think it's tough on anybody. It's tough on her, but I don't see that she has the ability by herself to get herself out of this. Like anybody, everybody always wants to do it themselves. She has been in shelters quite a bit, and so over the maybe 4.5 years that I've known her, I think maybe it's been 4 years. Over the 4 years that I've known her, half the time she's been in some kind of shelter, but that still means that she's been on the streets for 2 years, off and on, and I think that's been very hard on her, and I'm not exactly sure how to fix this. I'm just afraid that she'll end up as some statistic, and there's nothing I can do, and I'm sad about it. And but I also internalize this and try to come up with what the real solution should be, and what do we tell our congressmen, and what do we tell each other about how we're going to solve this. It's not just simple enough as once people, and I agree with this sentiment, but the way to stop homelessness is by giving homeless people homes. I agree with that sentiment, but it's not that simple. If you gave her a home, she would trash it. I've seen it. I've seen her have rooms. They get trashed. She needs to have supervision. She needs constant supervision, um, and that's more of a medical problem. That's the way I think we need to be treating homelessness. It's a medical problem. Anyway, it's very sad to me. Um, I have way too much reality on this subject, and it's upsetting. And I wish that we could snap our fingers and solve this, but I don't think it's that simple. I think that we have to have a lot of initiative. Everybody else who can do something needs to have a lot of initiative to do something. And those people that you see in the parks, each one has a story, and each one is complicated. And it's not simple. You can't just gather them up and throw them into a building and say, there we go, they're all not homeless anymore. They need more than that.